And we're back. We're fixed. We're set up. Still got the same song, which is Century from Fall Out Boys. We have the wonderful sunrise. Wonderful, wonderful. And I'm right here. Am I close enough to you guys? Does it really matter? Not really, right? In a parking lot at 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh, a little bit less than 5 o'clock. And that's insane. I have never did this. Let's see how it works. Does it work if I'm sitting down? It's supposed to work. There you go. No. It's like a fail-safe. Fail-safe if I'm sitting down. Let's try it out. It's like a bad idea. There's a reason why they don't allow that. Funny. I've been drawn back to this place. I've been thinking about this place. Not a lot, but I've been thinking about this place. And it's funny how the mind works. Why have you been drawn to this place? Well, the last time we were here, right? About a month ago. I told you guys how much this place means to me, which is, again, Le Jardin d'Orval, right? Do you guys see it? I should probably show you. Yeah, it. That's French, really. If you don't speak French, it's basically the Garden d'Orval. The Dorval Garden. See? The world remember me. Funny, when I've been here, I was telling you how much this place means to me. How this place was a place away from home that still felt like home. Away from everybody, far away for me to be reaching on foot. Far away for people not to remember me. Far away for people not to be in contact with me. But still somewhat of a social experience. Social, not experience, for example, we're tasting something, we're doing lab tests. A social and social interaction, right? It was social enough for me to be like, okay, well, I like this place. I fucking love this place. So I've been drawn to this place. I've been thinking a lot about it. And you know the craziest thing? The Wi-Fi here is stronger than the Wi-Fi I have at home. That is pretty fucking sad. Fucking sad. But hey, that's such is life, unfortunately. Sometimes I also to do. I think I'm gonna come here to do a mukbang on live on TikTok. That'd be good. Something like Monday or something like Tuesday. That's good. Tuesday's good. Tuesday would be a perfect day. I could come here on my skateboard. That'd be amazing. I don't know what restaurant there is here, but that'd be a good idea, right? I TikTok live there. Actually, it almost would be better to do it today. Yeah, but Saturday nobody's gonna be here. It's gonna be busy. I don't know if I'm down to do it busy. Like, I want to do some more social videos and social interaction, right? Because that's important for mental health. That's really important for mental health. But if I want to do a video where there's a fucking 1,000 people, like just today, right? Today I did a video in the in the lakeshore. I was filming on a table, on a picnic table, right? People were looking at me like I was crazy and I was filming them. Dude, I'm not filming anybody, right? Then again, if you look around, nobody's shoving a camera on your face. Look around, not a lot of people are shoving camera here and there, right? Doesn't make sense? It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I've been finding myself thinking, or not, I'm not gonna sound crazy, right? But hear me out. I've been feeling myself bound to this place, mentally, physically, spiritually. I've been having this desire, it's almost craving to be here. Now you're wondering, how can you crave being here? Well, if you think about it, right? Last time I was here, last time I was coming here on almost a daily basis, I was in a position where I wasn't working. I feel alone now. Of course, I have you guys. I don't feel alone, but you know what I mean. And again, it's been a month and a half now. No, that's not true. Today we're the 25th. In 4 days, it would have been 2 months no work, right? That's insane. But yeah, so those 2 months, right? It makes me. I mean, I do have social interaction. I do talk to people, which is great. But it's not as much as if I was seeing people on a daily basis and working with them 8 hours a day. I'm talking to people. I'm not talking to people 8 hours a day, and I don't know if I would talk to people hours a day, right? So especially with the stupid. I really regret trying to film the behind the scene for work, because now when I have to answer comments, I have to answer them on a video, right? For example, I'm going to film the screen and I'm going to be replying to comments, right? Basically, those comments are public anyway, so I'm not going to show DMs, but still. So because now when I see a comment, I want to answer, but I said, no, you have to film. And I kind of film like a 2 seconds video to answer something, because then it's pointless. I already have 25,000 videos, so I have to do like a week where I put video A, video B, video C, video D, till the whole week, the behind the scenes of the whole week, right? And here's the pros and truth. I've been there forever. And even though, like, again, you're bound to this place socially speaking, you're bound to this place spiritually speaking, you're bound to this place emotionally speaking. I was talking about last week about, I'm neutral, right? So if I have a good mindset, neutrality can become good. Now, I didn't take into consideration the outside aspect. For example, there's one of my friends, right? And she wrote a post about she wanted to be like loved, and she didn't feel love. She's an amazing person, right? And you feel bad for her because she's a good person, but then again, that's part of life. She's younger, she's like 21. And she doesn't understand that not everybody's gonna like you yet, right? This is a lesson that you learn as early as possible. Not everybody's gonna like you, by the way. So you're in a position where I feel bad for her, but what can I do? So I see her get hurt, and you want to be the guy. You want to be the guy that's there for her. But if you're the guy that's there for her, you're enabling a behavior of you're gonna get hurt, and I'll be here to pick up the pieces. The whole concept of I'll be here to pick up the pieces is great if you're it's great if you're a friend, and it happens not often. But if you become a crutch, and if you become only there to pick her or him when they're down, and you realize that they're down, they're getting in a situation where they're getting hurt because they know that they have you as a crutch, it's not good. It's a song by Billy Talent, Surrender. She broke from across the street, waiting on someone that she'll never meet. Talk about an hour or two. She wonder why I'm always in a good mood. Killing time before she struts her stuff. She needs support and I become the crutch. She'll never know how much she means to me. I play the game but I'm the referee. Surrender. Basically, that's exactly the way it goes. Like, and again, it's hurt because you want to be a good friend. You want to be somebody that's there for them. Then you realize that no, you have to make them suffer. And not suffering in the sense of I'm going to hurt them. But for example, if you're a father or you're a mother, right? And that you're seeing that your kid, they fall in the street. Now, a great parents would be like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? But if the kid is like 10 years old and he's still falling, it's because you enable yourself to be there when they're falling. If you're a kid and you fall, your parents are like, hey, get up, we have to go. And you learn really quick that, okay, well, falling is okay. Falling is something out of life, and I still have to get back up. Because we got shit to do, you know? And that's also a good lesson. But what I think that you want to promote the lesson that I'm going to be there for you, no matter what, or do you want to promote the reason of you have to be strong on your own? And it's a complicated message because you would say that every single person have their own reaction to it. They have their own version of what is a good thing, what is the wrong thing to do. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, all in all, it's the truth and the matter. All in all, we've been here for another. Oh, I'm gonna go home and I'll be all alone, but that's cool. It's alright, cause I'm always all might. And yeah, so it depends on the person. There's a person that it's funny because as a person you're like, okay, well, what lesson can I teach them? But as a person, it's like, what lesson do I need? And for some people, the lesson that you're trying to teach them, not the lesson they need to learn. For example, if you're taking somebody that's really artistic and you making them go into fields that don't have art inside, they have a emotional intelligence when it comes to art. They're craving it, they're passionate about it, and they're pushing. My father wants me to find a job, and I'm like, dude, I'm already doing what I want, And I understand that, I understand the worry, but I'm still good for like another 7 months. Now, am I gonna be able to do 7 months? Of course. Is the good thing would that be to find a job? Yes, because technically, yes, I have 9 months, but if a job doesn't work, then I could fall back on that 7 months. I'd be like, okay, well, I found a job, it didn't work. I have 7 months to find another job, right? Or I could wait the 9 months and I find a job and be like, well, I don't like it, but I don't have a choice, right? I don't know. But to come back to the subject, I feel it's wonderful how the mind works. I'm fully going on today. I'm fully active today. As again, I've been up for a couple hours, and it's cold outside, so it wakes you up, right? And it's crazy how your mind works, because the last time I was here, I was alone. Now I'm not alone. I have a lot of you guys being here. I have a better relationship with my parents than I had back then, for sure. But again, we're talking about the social interaction of every single day. Like, you know, you keep hearing on the news how the world is overpopulated. You look around you, there's so many people, and you're like, holy shit, I'm constantly being stimulated, right? And you're like, okay, well, I'm in a similar spot that I was back then. And again, no work. This time I'm creating content, which is bringing me a lot of joy. But for now, it's only working. Like, I've been mentioning about making more effort to grow a community. That way, because I've been focusing on creating content, but not enough on community. And now it's been 3 years, and I have like, again, 25,000 videos. Are they all gems? Fuck no. Most of them are complete shit, but they're part of a journey, right? And being part of the journey often means that, okay, well, I'm gonna take a risk, and that risk is gonna pay off, or it's not gonna pay off. It's all a question of perception again. So yeah, I'm in a position right now, right here, right now, where I'm so fucking cringe, dude. I'm in a position right here where I'm facing the opportunity, and the very singular opportunity of having the time to do whatever the fuck I want. And I feel like, you know, you go back to your hometown, you go back to a place that means a lot to you, like this place, and you can resource. And I feel like this place, like, it's insane. It's really insane, right? How the mind works. The mind works. It says, okay, well, you're in a similar situation mentally as when you were there, so go back there to resource. Now, you often see people like, oh, I need to take a break. I need to go back to my own town. I need to go back to my parents' house. I need to go do something that I've been doing. And you're wondering, why are they always trying to go there? And you realize that they're always going there because it's their spot, their center. You could say spiritual center, you could say emotional center. For example, right? You're gonna go to a restaurant every single time, and you're like, holy shit, the food tastes like shit, but you're still gonna go, and you're wondering why you're still going there. You're wondering why you're always going there, because you got memories to this place. You got a bond, you got a relationship with this place. And again, it's an inanimate object, which is weird to have a relationship with, but it is the case. Now, what are you supposed to do? What is the opportune answer to have here? Well, the opportune answer to have here is extremely fucking simple. The right answer to have here is, well, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna resource, I'm gonna take back from the place. See, it's nuts, dude. It's nuts. Like, your home is your sanctuary, right? And I feel like, I'll be quite honest. I'll be completely fucking honest. For the very first 6 months of living in an apartment, of the very first 6 months, when I moved to my own place, I was having dreams, and those dreams, right? I was still living to a place. I was still living there, and that's your body that has to accustom itself. You see, they're talking about a lot about, if you look geographically speaking, think about north, west, south, east, right? And you're saying, well, my north, for example, my north is here. My south is here. My west is here. My east is here. So I'm at the west of where I live. Now, you would say, okay, well, does that mean that in this place, this exact place, would it mean that you're in the perfect place that you should be, or that just mean that you're in a place where it's comfortable to be in? And I feel like we all have center. Now, the worst thing to do is you're seeing nomadic people, very, very nomadic people. Was it nomadic that moves a lot? Like, you're seeing people that are going for work. They're going to city to city to city to city to city, right? And you're like, holy shit, what is your home, right? And they're never home. And then you wonder, you feel bad for them because you're like, what is your place? What is your emotional place? And they go from hotel to hotel. Now, those people, right, are more likely to want to form bond. They're more likely to want to have like relationship. They're more likely to have some one night stand. They're more likely to take bigger risks, socially speaking, right? To put themselves in a social situation where they're gonna meet people, even though they won't be friends, because again, their center has become them. Their body has become their own home, and it feels lonely because their body is not supposed to be at home. So, in other words, for my more visual people, you have a car, and you're driving your car, and your car has a flat, and you have to replace a tire. Now, you do have a tire. You have they call it the unalive tire, the suicide tire, unalive tire. And the reason they do that is because your tire are going to be, okay, well, if you do this distance, you're going to be able to, you're going to be okay. But if you go after this distance, then you're going to have the problem of understanding that, no, you went too far. That tire was not meant for long distance. Now you're paying the price. And that body is that tire. It will take you somewhere. It'll help you somehow, but it's about making a place, you know. And it's funny because even if you're a bit older, right, you're gonna have your house and you have your room and you have the house you grew up in, right. And when you're gonna have those kids, you say, well, okay, well, I have kids, I have to buy a house, I have to buy a bigger apartment, I have to buy a condo, and that house becomes your house, and you still feel at home. So you're finding yourself divided by two places. For example, we're seeing. So this is coming from a guy that lived it, right? This is sociology or psychology speaking. I had two homes when I was a kid. I had my mother's house and my father's house. And although I spent more time at my father's house, I still had my place in my mom's house. I still had my room in my mom's house, and that room was my sanctuary, right? The house was in my house because I was only there for 2 days a week. The house didn't feel strange, but I knew I wasn't at my place, right? And our boyfriend at the time was Salman or Soli, and I would say, it's funny, I would say this is Soli's house, this is Soli's pool. But when it was coming to my room, I was like, oh, this is my room, right? And he had a son called David. That guy was so nice, and I was like, oh, that's David's rooms. But every single other pieces in the house felt somehow strange, felt somehow different, right? And when I was at home, I would say, oh, that's my kitchen, that's my basement, that's my toilet, and that's the balcony, right? And it's funny because of this, you'd say, okay, well, you were clearly more attached to the house that you grew up with, which is normal. You were clearly more identifying with this house. And the reality is, no, even if you do identify this house, you still go to friends. For example, when you go to a friend, right, and you're still young, more likely when you're young, not when so much when you're an adult, you have a problem sleeping in a stranger house, or you have a problem sleeping in a friend's house, or even in a cottage house, because you're not home. Your body, your soul craves being at home. And it's funny because what happened is, for example, in the apartment, right? But the apartment is weird. The apartment is really weird because there's been a bunch of time where I didn't live in the apartment. There was this time, right, where I was working. I was working for like a month outside of the city, and I went to the hotel room, and I don't remember missing the hotel room. I don't remember missing the apartment. That was at the hotel room, but I don't remember having this hotel room and saying, hey, this is mine. We had this casa when we went to Cancun for school. And it wasn't home. It was where we lived. It wasn't home. So you see, there's almost this feeling of this apartment that it's nuts because it's been so long. I don't call my father's house my house, and I don't call my mother's house my house. I call this my apartment, but you see, it's the simple fact that you're saying my apartment, not my house, is completely different. Now you would say, okay, well, saying your apartment is the right pronunciation, is the right thing to say, and you'd be absolutely right. However, the fact that you're calling this your apartment, it's funny because I don't know a lot of people that say, hey, my condo. They say my home, but you say my apartment. It's really weird. You could say in English is easier. In English, you could say my place, and technically my place would work in both situations. But in French, you would in French, and again, mentally speaking, I'm thinking in French because that's my mother tongue, and even that is completely phenomenal. The brain again works in wonderful ways. So you know why, you know why your brain thinks in your mother tongues. So, for example, your first language was French, your first language was English, and you're thinking in English. And even when you think, well, even if you're English and you speak French, your brain's still thinking in English. You have to translate it. Do you know why? Because your brain, the first language, the first way of communicating how it felt was in your mother's tongue. So when you're talking to your brain is sending signal. But if you want to identify those signals, if you want to put or categorize those signals, you're going to use in English language. Because you're using an English language, when you're thinking, you feel like you're thinking in your mother's tongue. Because you're communicating with yourself. Thinking is simply communicating to yourself. When you communicate to yourself, you're communicating in the language that's easiest for you, which is the language you learned when you were young, which is the language you first know. Now, for example, if you're in a different country and you start speaking your language, it's a possibility that you lose your mother tongue. And your mind is also responsible for that, because your mind says, well, you're having so many conversation in French, you're hearing so many conversation in French, your whole life is in French now, so we're going to put your brain in French. That way you don't have to make as much effort to translate. That's how it works. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be a gangster. I'm gonna go back home. That way we can film the nature corner from my apartment. Not my house, my apartment. Because what I wanted to do is, I want to start doing, again, I was thinking about, like, doing a live, TikTok live in Nature Corn, right? But the reality is, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to be reading, holy shit, look at this, how beautiful this is. I'm going to be reading the Bleach instead. Holy shit. I didn't even know that was 25 minutes. It goes fast, bro. It goes fast as fuck. So let's go back home, right? We're going to get myself a nice hoodie, because your boy is cold. Not cold enough